Good morning. This morning I want to tell you a story, a birthing story. The labor for my second child proceeded much as the labor for my first. I arrived at the birthing center with my cervix dilated to approximately 2 to 3 centimeters. Contractions were coming approximately 5 minutes apart and gaining intensity. The midwives and birthing assistants met Jonathan and me at the center just after 2 a.m. on Wednesday, February 27th. I'd been experiencing mild contractions and lower back pain since about 5 p.m. on the 26th. But I'd been able to make dinner and help put Vivian to bed. Then I had tried to sleep until my womb kept rousing me. By mid-morning on the 27th, my cervix had dilated to 7 centimeters. But shortly thereafter, the contraction slowed and momentum stalled. This development gave me a bit of rest and a chance to gather my wits. But the reprieve also meant that things were not progressing as quickly as you might have liked. I turned to Meg, the midwife in charge, and said, "The same thing happened during my labor with Vivian. I got stuck at 7 centimeters. Meg paused, then said directly and without irony, "Maybe you're afraid of going deeper into labor, where things get harder and more painful." I was livid. The nerve of her suggesting that I had some sort of mental block or that I wasn't up to the challenge of this natural birth. Her assessment felt like criticism to me, as if she had flat out called me weak. But truth be told, I wasn't sure I could do it. This all-consuming task of delivering a life while feeling every harrowing sensation in your own body, not knowing how long it will last, or even for certain if it will end well. And doing it all, in this case, with nothing to dull the pain, not even a drop of something, just to take the edge off. Meg left the room. She returned saying, "Let's try this," carrying in what looked to be an oversized inflatable version of that Planters Peanut mascot. You know, the one with the yellow shelled gentleman and the top hat and monocle. Indeed, the midwives refer to this tool of their trade as the peanut, but it will forever be known to me as the peanut of perdition. I can think of no better punishment in hell than perpetual labor on a peanut. "I feel mad at you," I said to Meg. "Good," she said. "Tell me about it." I said, "I'm doing the best I can, but this back pain is killing me. The contractions in my pelvis seem manageable, but the ones in my back are killing me." I don't remember her exact words in response, but I heard Meg saying what I most needed to hear. I see that you are suffering. I also see that you are strong. I am here with you, and I will help you through it. Giving birth is hard enough when there is not a tyrant king coming after your offspring. I can scarcely imagine what it would have been like to be a Hebrew woman giving birth in Egypt under this tyrant of a Pharaoh. The fear and anxiety must have been thick around the birthing stool. But I also imagine that the midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, had developed a reputation for delivering, pun intended, safety and health and life. As Carrie just mentioned in the children's sermon, Shiphrah and Puah deliver life precisely because they do not do what they're told. They make good trouble. We've been talking a lot about good trouble the past few weeks. We talked about Jesus turning over tables in the temple. We talked about the Canaanite woman pulling up a chair at Jesus' table, even though she wasn't invited. And here we have Shiphrah and Puah gathering around the birthing stool in an act of subversion to the kingdom of the Pharaoh. Shiphrah and Puah do not do what they're told by the king because their allegiance is not to a flag or a ruler, but to a God who stands on the side of the vulnerable and oppressed. They understand that sometimes being faithful to God means disobeying an unjust executive order. And with this courageous act of disobedience, Shiphrah and Puah lay the foundation for a powerful movement toward Hebrew liberation. First with their disobedience, and then by simply doing their jobs in a just and skillfully subversive way, daring to foster life under the threat of death. This week I've been thinking about all those who are pregnant in this moment, preparing to give birth in such an uncertain, tumultuous time. I think this is nothing less than an act of courage and resistance to bear new life and hope into a broken and despairing world. Can you imagine the sort of birth stories that will emerge from having a child in 2020? It's both so ordinary and so extraordinary at the same time. And this is the very nature of God, to work the extraordinary through the ordinary, because of it, not in spite of it. So this week, my challenge and invitation to you is that whoever you are, whatever you do, whether you're a waitress or a checkout clerk, a baker or a builder, a teacher or nanny, artist or accountant, police or pilot, or lawyer or nurse, or business executive. When you do your work with courage and integrity and an eye for what is just, you have the power to bring oppressive systems to their knees. Just by doing your job in a way that chooses life over death. May it be so. Amen.